Hey guys, how are you? Welcome to episode number 15, Monster Motivator TV. If you're not sure who we are and what we do, we are a mobile live stream TV show that's going to highlight local businesses, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, anybody that's making a difference in their community, and we're coming to a town near you. So if you know anybody, send them to our website or just reach out to me on Facebook or Instagram, however we're connected. Let me know and we'll make it happen. So we're here in Marietta, California. I love this town. They embraced me from day one, and I'm excited to share with you a great entrepreneurial story that's a second generation, correct?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Dr. Katie Dugan, and I'll let Dr. Dugan introduce herself, explain a little bit of how you got here,
Okay.
Where you started,
Sure.
and then where you see yourself going, because you actually have 2 locations.
Yes.
Very, very exciting. So jump right in, say hello to everyone, and let's do it.
Thank you. Well, hi everybody. I'm Dr. Katie Dugan. I'm an optometrist, and we're in my Marietta practice, which is Marietta Creek Optometry.
Okay.
So I actually started out at our first location, Temecula Creek Optometry. We opened in 2004. It was my dad's first private practice.
Where is that location?
We're on Temecula Parkway,
Okay.
so right across from Rancho Community Church.
Okay.
We're in between Pachanga and Margarita.
Right. Okay.
So he opened cold after about 20 years in a corporate optometry setting, so kind of like a Kaiser organization. And he opened that practice because he wanted a more personalized relationship with his patients.
He wanted more of the neighborhood feel.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So we moved from Orange County. That was when I was 16.
Oh.
And I started working for him as front desk, reception.
That's it.
I started then learning how to do optician work, so fitting people with frames and lenses. And it was after about a year of working there, I went on my first medical mission trip, which I went to El Salvador.
Oh, wow.
And he taught me how to do really basic eye exams, just checking people for glasses. And I brought about 500 pairs of donated glasses, mainly just reading glasses down
Very,
there.
very cool.
And my first patient was a 70-year-old man
Right.
who, you imagine people in their 40s usually need reading glasses, right?
Yeah.
This man was 70 and had never had a pair of reading glasses his entire life.
Did he need them?
He needed them badly,
Right.
So we put on a pair of donated reading glasses, like the simplest, cost nothing to
Right.
us.
Right.
Put him on, and I mean, tears coming down. He's looking at his hands like
wow.
he had never seen them before. And that was when I was like, okay, this is what I want to do.
You found your why.
I found my why, yeah.
You found your why.
And so I went home from that trip and I changed my major. I told my dad, okay, I want to become an optometrist. Let's, get the ball rolling. So I went to school then at community college for a couple of years.
And you still worked at his
I still
location?
worked there, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I kept kind of learning everything about the office while I was in school.
Okay.
So it turned from, receptionist to optician to the biller to the office manager.
Wasn't that the best way to learn?
Exactly.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
you know everything from A to Z in your whole business.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a really good way to go.
It's just the experience there was invaluable for now being able to run the business, because
Right.
I know all of my employees, my team members know that I've done their job, and it just makes it a lot better relationship there.
And I love that you're talking about that, because when I speak at corporations and I do my keynotes, I speak on culture of the business, because I believe that everything follows the culture of your business,
Absolutely.
either good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you can kind of, once you're done, let's talk about that, because I think you could really shine a great light on that from your experience.
Yeah, definitely.
So now when did you open up the second location?
So we just bought this practice a month ago. We closed
Oh,
escrow.
so it was an existing practice?
It was an existing
Okay.
practice, yep. And we took over, I started working here about 6 months ago, and then slowly the sale finally went through just in April. So
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. So it's you and your dad?
Me and my dad, yep.
Okay, all right, good. So now you have 2 locations,
Yes.
double the work,
Yes.
right? Double the more employees,
Yep.
more overhead,
Yep.
more responsibility,
Yep.
right?
Stop making me nervous.
But that's what it's all about,
It
right?
is, yeah.
But let's go back to El Salvador. How long were you in there?
That trip was just a 2 or 3 week trip.
Okay, but that was your first.
That was my first medical service trip.
Okay.
Yeah, and after that, it kind of, it ignited my passion for optometry, but then it also gave me, I call it the bug for mission trips, because you want to keep
to give back. And that feeling,
exactly.
you can't buy it.
Yeah.
You can't replace it.
Yeah.
It's just that feeling of doing the right thing.
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of like when you do the right thing, it's always the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. So what was your major before? What was your direction?
Yeah, it's funny. I was gonna go into psychology.
Okay.
I thought for sure I wanted to be like a family marriage counselor. And my mom strongly discouraged me from it, and she always said, Katie, counseling, it's not about giving advice, because I think that's why I wanted to go into it.
Okay.
I wanted to feel like my advice mattered.
And your message mattered.
And my message mattered. And she's like, you don't do that as a counselor. I think I have a really hard time when people don't follow my advice and then expect different outcomes. And I was like, that's all counseling would have been. So I think I actually would have been a terrible counselor. So thank God I went on that mission trip.
Well, I want to talk about that, because I'm a big believer in when you have goals and you're not sure how it's going to happen, when you start taking that action, right?
Yeah.
The people and the circumstances start to come into your life.
Absolutely.
And the other thing that you did, see, you took that action. Who would have ever thought in a million years, right? You get the best Hollywood screenwriters. They're not going to write that, right? But when you start taking that action, and then what I love about what you did, it's so vitally important to get this, is you adapted accordingly.
Yeah.
In other words, you didn't go there and say, you know what, this was amazing, but that was my major and I have to stick with that.
Yeah.
That's so important to understand, that you have to follow what I call your inner GPS, right? Your gut feeling, your heart.
Yeah.
And when you do that, how many times have you done that, or you haven't done it, and you kick yourself, saying, man, why didn't I do it?
And
I love that.
It's so easy in life to really exert our will over
Especially certain personalities,
and certain personalities are better at it. And I'm one of those where, like, if I want something done, I can force it to
You
be
will
done.
your way.
I will my way.
We're the type A.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's, we need those personalities, and they're great to have, but there is something to be said to be able to take a step back and say, okay, I've been pushing and pushing for my way to be done, and my will to be done. Okay, maybe it's God's will that needs to be done. Maybe it's a different
you
will.
listen to that direction.
Yeah.
You listen to yourself, which ultimately makes you a better leader, because you're willing to learn. You're willing to move forward and listen to yourself. Now, having this second location, how much has that affected you, either good or bad?
It's still affecting me.
You're
still figuring it out.
Right, you're still right, because it's so brand new.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now, it's really just made me, I think it's made me realize that I really need stuff to be scheduled, and to be, I need to schedule time aside for myself and for my family.
Oh.
Instead of, before it was like, well, if it happens, it happens, and we go out on a date night, great, but now it's like, no, we need to make an intentional plan to have a life at home, and to have, because otherwise I could let this completely consume
and when
my
we
life.
have this personality, that
It's really easy.
And it's really, it's nothing set in stone, right? It depends on you, your situation. And same with me. I mean, I'm always working. I'm doing something, and that's just our personality. But that's what gets us here, right?
Yeah.
And that's it gives you the ability to actually take on a second location.
Exactly.
Now, how involved is your dad?
He's involved. This has kind of been, okay, take it and run with it
Your
for
baby.
me.
Your
Yeah,
baby.
this
Okay.
location. But he's more so involved at the Temecula spot. He's at the point where he's like, I just want to be the doctor. If I don't have to manage anything, then I'm happy.
That's
which
awesome.
works for us, where he kind of oversees the finances, and he's an incredible doctor and does amazing patient care, and patients love him. and then he leaves the management to me.
Yeah, the back end, really. And you know what? That's I share this a lot, but your message, your story ties in with every single part of this, because when you're a business owner, I always kind of look at it in reverse. I want to identify my weaknesses and enhance them, and then double down on my strengths, right? And I can relate to your dad. I'm the guy in the front, but man, everything in the back I need to give to somebody else. To keep my marketing manager, Kate, I don't know if she's on or not, but she keeps everything, you know, in order. Oh, yeah, I thought I'm going to put her in the Pope Mobile so nothing happens to her. But yeah, I mean, so now, how many more employees did you take on since taking this location?
There's 4 here.
Do you still oversee Temecula?
Yes, I do. So then there's 6 in Temecula.
Okay. Talk about the culture. Talk about how important you feel culture is to your business.
So it's funny because I used to be, and I was the manager over at the Temecula office. I was a critical and very demanding, because we're demanding of ourselves and we're critical of ourselves, and I expect that out of everybody. Why wouldn't you want to do the job perfectly too? Like I would do the job perfectly. And I think that translated into my employees as the expectations are way too high. She's done all of our jobs, which in a way it's good. She understands us, but it makes her that much more critical. And so over the last couple of years, it's me really realizing like everybody is doing the best they can given their current understanding, their current knowledge and motivation. And so my culture and really I think my demeanor towards everybody has been, it's not perfect, that's for sure. But it's been developing over the last couple of years, and really more towards a culture of I don't even know how to explain it, but less criticism and more appreciation. I read the book Employees First, Customers Second, and that was a huge mind. Employees First, Customers Second.
Okay.
And that has really pretty much translated into how I practice now, where my employees, my girls, I call them my girls, their life, their work-life balance, their feeling of fulfillment at their job is my #1 priority.
See, and that's so vital, but it's so great that you were able to see that in yourself, your own level of awareness, and then know who your team players are and where to actually put them to create that winning team. And that's ultimately what you're doing, right? You're just growing and evolving with the business.
Absolutely.
And so many, but so many people don't, right? And they try and, you know, they try and figure out what's going on. It must be this, it must be that, instead of looking in the mirror and saying, what can I do? What else can I do? When I had a sports nutrition store in Vista, and you know, I'm still, one of the proudest things I've ever done in business is the employees that work for me still to this day say they loved working there because they felt like it was their business. And when I wasn't there, things happen, you know.
And patients, the key for me is that I want patients to be cared for the way that I would care for them. And all of my girls are an extension of me, but they won't know how I want to care for other people if I don't show that to them. So I feel like if I can show them how cared for they are, then it's going to translate into how they treat.
Exactly, and also everyone has different personalities, so they're going to bring different flavors of what they consider caring, right? So I think that's really neat. So where do you see yourself going? Where do you see yourself expanding in the business world?
So right now it's just the 2 of us, me and my dad. I call it an empire. I want to build an empire.
Girl. All right, I love it. Love it.
So
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So my goal there in optometry, there's a ton of different specialties, right? So I specialize in pediatrics and vision therapy or vision training. My dad specializes in more medical optometry, treatment and management of diseases, ocular diseases. But there's other specialties. There's contact lenses that, not your typical like soft lenses. There's the people that can't wear regular lenses that you need to specialize in these intense contact lenses.
It's a real niche.
Real niche. Then there's low vision for people that have, they have decreased vision from, usually macular degeneration is the biggest cause of blindness, and low vision teaches them how to use and maximize the vision that they have left. So it's working with devices and telescopes and implants and that kind of stuff. There's so many different realms of optometry, and I can't be all things to all people.
Right.
I can't specialize in everything, even though I love it all. I have to, I want to be good at one thing and do it really well. So my goal is to have multiple locations with different specialties in each one.
Right. Okay.
And have be able to refer. If a patient comes in, anything walks through my chair, be able to send it to one of my doctors that's on my team.
Oh, that's awesome. That's an awesome vision.
Yeah.
Vision.
It happens. There you go.
And I got to be honest with you, in my 30s, early 40s, I'll be 50 in September. I never thought that I would be here.
Yeah.
Look, I never thought, and that's where I am.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd be there, but I did make it. Now, let me ask you this: what for the especially the women entrepreneurs or the women that want to move up in their company, just want to make a difference, whatever that is, right? I don't even care if you want to get into shape, whatever that is. What are some of the things that you can share your wisdom that you've learned that you can kind of share with everyone?
It's tough because, and a lot of women will, I don't have kids, right? And so for me to sit here and give advice to a mom is a lot different than, someone who's single or I'm married, but you're still
a woman.
I'm still a woman
and
entrepreneur,
you're running businesses.
and so I guess the hardest thing is women in general are nurturers.
Yes,
and caregivers.
Yes.
And so what's really hard is to separate that mentality of, okay, this is separate from my home life.
Right.
I'm not going to treat this business the same way that I treat my home life.
Okay.
Because it's really, otherwise the two get muddled together.
And you don't know what's what, huh?
And you don't know what's what. And your home time is spent doing work, and your work time is spent organizing things on for home. And so for me, like I said in the beginning, it's really been important for me to set a time. Okay, from 7 to 9 p.m. I am at home. I'm with my husband. We're cooking dinner. We're catching up. It's quality time. And otherwise, I could we spend all day working.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
that's
and
exactly
so,
it.
And men have the ability to compartmentalize a lot easier. Women, have you seen that goofy skit that's like women are like a ball of wires?
No.
It's Mark Gungor. He's a comedian / like Christian speaker. Anyways, he says men have boxes in their brain that you can pull out the family box, open it up, and then you're in the family. You don't.
When you're done, you close it.
You close it, and now you're in the business. And women don't have that ability to compartmentalize, and so for me, really kind of forcing that on myself.
Okay.
Compartmentalizing the time has been the key to me keeping my sanity
and
being successful
and having a happy home life.
Absolutely.
Right now, I've said this on other episodes that, look, I'm the biggest fan of women because a good woman is just the baddest human being on the planet. They can run a business, run a family, get into shape, and do three more things and still look for more. We're in that. We have that box.
Yeah.
Once that box is open, we can't open another box.
Right.
That's our DNA. No, not even close. So that's a great way to look at it. I never really thought of it like that. And it gave me a great visual because we think in pictures, right? I thought that was awesome. We're getting a lot of great questions. So I can't read them this far back.
I could probably help you with that. Just saying.
That's right. Terry Williamson, awesome. That's my girl. Hi, Dave, and hi, Dr. Katie. Worked for an optometrist when I was in college. All right, awesome. She's out there getting her personal in Arizona, getting her personal training cert.
Oh,
and
good.
she has 3 beautiful girls, and
Aw.
she's killing it. She's
Awesome.
killing it. I'm very
Good
proud of
for
her.
you. Yeah.
Stephanie Goodman. Hey guys, this is a great idea. Break a leg. All right. About employees, Terry Williamson. They will always go the extra mile for you if they feel appreciated. Great bosses lead. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely. They want to. People want to feel a part of something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And to understand your people. Some people are driven by money.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Some people are driven by the thank you.
Yeah.
The acknowledgement.
Yeah.
Right? So how important is that to know your players?
So we actually give a survey when people are hired with us, and it's the motivational survey actually.
Yeah.
So it asks them specifically, what would you prefer? A thank you card, and rank it from 1 to 10. Thank you card, money, a gift card, public acknowledgement, a certificate. So I actually, it's 2 pages long. I find out what stores they like the best.
Wow.
How they feel appreciated.
That's really taking it another level. I got a question for you though.
Yeah.
I'm dying to really know this. So the people that have been with you for a while,
Yeah.
do you see a difference in what they initially said to what they really are? Is there a, like, because look, when you're going to get hired, you're very proper, very, you know, they don't know you, you don't know them. How much of a difference have you seen from their initial?
That's true. Yeah.
I think that's.
Probably give them the survey a second
I know. I think that would be really neat to see.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
Have you seen changes from?
Yeah. People that said
We're only human.
They wanted money. Like a lot.
Yeah.
Most of the time, the number one response is money.
Mhm.
Like a raise.
Yeah.
Which sure, but surprisingly, most people that is a lower, especially for women.
I was just going to say that.
Motivator.
It's because you're just wired different.
Exactly, and so that just what I carry thank you notes in my drawer. I have a whole ton of thank you notes in my drawer, and then I have little gift cards, and just the handwritten thank you note. And I usually acknowledge for something specific. We just got a great Yelp review at our Temecula office that mentioned by name one of my girls.
Wow.
And how wonderful she was. And so I wrote out a thank you note. Look, this patient mentioned you in a Yelp review. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and your hard work. And $5 to Starbucks because I know she's addicted to Starbucks. So it's perfect.
There you go. I mean, but that goes so long.
Yeah.
That goes so, she's going to remember that. And that makes a big difference by taking that next step and really caring about your business, caring about your people. So what other, so you want to open up some other locations? Do you have any goals set in place as far as time frame in your mind? And they could change, I know.
Yeah, it definitely is going to, it's going to be changing, I think, all the time. But right now, my main goal is to get this running equally to the Temecula practice. We have just a well-oiled machine down there. And it's because we've been open for 10 years, and we all just know each other and how we function. And so my goal right now is to really get this up to that level, and then bring in an associate. So that time frame, we're looking August for an associate. Yeah, so that's the plan right now. We're only seeing patients 4 days a week here. So I'd like to get that to 6 days a week by August. And then from there, I don't know, I'll set a new goal.
That's okay, right? And now, would you say it's pretty accurate when you're taking a leap like this, right? A second location, more overhead, more. I don't want to scare you, but
risky.
It is.
It's risky.
But how accurate is it that you can't get consumed with the complete how in the very beginning because you're not going to know.
It's impossible,
right? Just as long as that why is big enough. And you probably, how long have you been looking into this location? At least 6 months because you were here, right?
Since September of last
year. So let's just say, 8-9 months, right? You've been actually really focusing on this location and trying to figure out how to incorporate it. But how many changes in your initial plan have there been? But that's so vital, right?
I can't even count. It's totally different than what we
You couldn't even recognize, and that's so important to understand. There is no perfect plane.
Yeah.
Jump off that cliff and build the plane on the way down.
Absolutely.
Is that,
Amen. Yeah.
right? That's just how it is.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's, again, the same type of mentality. Even if you're a manager, general manager, sales manager, you take that mentality on like it's your business, because I always say, when you bring enough value, that's where your security comes in.
Yeah.
You know, when you bring enough, your girl that got
Yeah.
that Yelp, her value just went up
Oh my gosh.
tremendously
Yeah.
in her company,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm. She was already high. So.
Right, but,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, I don't know if we have any other questions. Terry loves the idea of the survey. I think that's an awesome idea, and I would love to hear some feedback if you do a second
That's a great idea. Yeah.
survey.
Yeah.
I would love to see the difference. Now, how many employees total do you have?
10.
10 in both locations?
Yes.
Okay, and how many doctors?
2.
2 doctors, one here, one, okay.
Well, me and my dad, yeah.
Okay.
So, and
Oh.
I'm split between both. So.
Okay. Will you be picking up more, or?
Yeah, well, we should have one more by August.
She
Yeah.
is monster mode. She is getting it done.
Yeah.
So I assume your husband's very supportive and
He is.
Yeah.
Bless his heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an incredible support. We got married right before I started school,
Okay.
optometry school. So we've been married almost 6 years now. And
Awesome.
Yeah, he's just a tremendous support.
And you need that.
Yeah,
You absolutely need that. You need that support. So is there anything else that I didn't talk about that you want to share that you might see in helping, you know, women entrepreneurs, or somebody that wants to take a chance, or even somebody, because of your experience, right, as the owner,
Yeah.
somebody that wants to move up in their company? What are some of the things that you look for?
I mean, any employer is going to look that you're treating the business like your own.
Okay.
You're taking ownership and really just you're a self-motivator.
Yes.
I think is the key. I don't want to have
No
to
babysitting.
I don't want to have to babysit.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to micromanage. And so if you can take ownership, and I love it when people come up with new ideas. Like, I had an idea that this will work better for the patient flow. Amen. You know,
Right.
even if we don't implement it, the
Doesn't
fact
matter.
that you're thinking about it, and that's a huge thing for me. And as far as like just a word of advice, something that we didn't
Yeah.
cover, one thing that was said to me, because optometry school, it's a long road,
Yeah.
right? It's 4 years of undergrad, 4 years of a doctorate program.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's easy to look ahead and get really overwhelmed with how much time it's going to take for you to reach your goal.
Yeah.
And then it's easy to just not take steps to do it because it's going to take so long. I'm just comfortable where I'm at.
Yeah. Yeah.
And someone told me back in undergrad, the time will pass anyways.
Either way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No matter what's going to happen, you're going to look back 8 years from now, and either you finished school or you didn't. Like,
Right.
the time's going to go by, so you might as well be working towards that goal,
Right.
even if it's overwhelming.
I love that. And it goes back to my main message, which is, as long as that why is big enough. So when you see yourself, right,
Yeah.
oh, I have 6 more years,
Mhm.
go back to that why.
Mhm.
And you know what? If it's not big enough, then maybe that is not your direction, right?
Right.
And that's okay.
Mhm.
And I love the fact that what you just said really ties in with everything, business, personal. Don't worry about the how, as
Yeah.
long as the why is big enough.
Yeah,
Because we'll
absolutely.
get overwhelmed,
Yeah.
right? And then it stops us from moving
From
forward,
moving forward,
taking
yeah.
that action.
Yeah.
What else? Anything else that you want to share before we jump off? Because it's been awesome.
Yeah. No, I thank you for
Yeah.
interviewing me. Thanks for all your
No,
time
it's
and,
awesome.
and for doing what you're doing. So I really appreciate
Yeah,
your
we
time.
love it. We love it. We want to give as much value as we can, and I love being around entrepreneurs. It's just creates that awesome energy.
Energy, yeah. Yeah.
Now, give us your hours, and where can they find you? Do you have
Sure.
a website,
We
social media?
Yeah, we do. We have all of the above. So, Temecula office, hours are generally 9 to 5:30.
Okay.
We're open Saturdays too. That website is Temecula Creek Optometrist.com.
Okay.
Temecula Creek Optometrist. And then up here we are Murrieta Creek Optometry.
Okay.
So it's not ist, it's optometry.
Throw a Y on the end.
Yeah,
Okay.
and same hours here on Facebook. We don't have a Facebook page for this location, but we're probably going to merge those two together, so it's Temecula Creek Optometry.
Now, as you guys know, if it's the first time viewing, we'll actually re-send this this whole footage out, this whole episode. So if we're connected on Facebook, I'm not sure if we are.
Probably not yet.
Okay, but once we do,
yeah,
you'll see it. Then you can send it out to your people, and then once this gets done, we'll actually upload it to our YouTube video.
Oh, awesome.
And then you can repurpose the footage any way you want.
Okay,
so again, we're trying to give back as much value as we can, and I just have a blast doing this.
Yeah.
So I love it. I love it. I have a lot of fun. Right?
Yeah.
Feel a little passionate.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'm so glad that you took the time.
Thank you.
And if you guys are looking for an optometrist in the Inland Empire area, come on down, see Dr. Katie. And your dad's name?
Gio.
Dr. Gio.
Giovanni Venatelli.
Oh, Italian.
Real Italian,
Oh,
yeah.
Right, I'm from the East Coast. I'm half Italian.
Perfect.
Awesome. Is he second generation?
He
Third?
is first generation.
First generation.
Yeah, his dad came over in the 40s. Yeah.
Now, is your mom Italian too?
No.
Okay.
So I'm a quarter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
So
married an Irish guy, so I'm Dugan now. I lost
now you're just you have no choice.
So he's Dr. Venatelli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ah, awesome. That's very good to know. Okay, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, anybody you know, we'll come out, we'll promote them, we'll highlight them, and we'll get their name out there. And remember, keep making it happen.